right, so you hop in the portal and you have some options, but why was Arizona State the right place for you? What were some of the aspects and the things that they were able to check off for you in terms of what you were looking for your next destination?
Um, Before this whole process, I knew Arizona State would be like a great fit for me as far as like I know the whole defensive staff. They One of the coaches, Coach Coop, he recruited me out of high school to come to Washington State to begin with. So me and him always had a tight knit relationship, and I feel like that was the best fit as far as me, knowing the defense. It's the same defense that I ran in my previous school, and it just fit perfect for me.
Then coming down to Tempe, this time not as an opponent, but on your visit, and got to see the facilities, the school, the university, everything that it had to offer up close. What things kind of jumped out to you and struck you most when you finally got to see things in person?
Really, how much of like home it felt. As far as I'm from Orlando, Florida, so I'm a big city type of kid. So Tempe, when I went there, it just felt just like home. Looked familiar, looked similar, so it just felt right.
So that seems to be something that I've heard from a few folks, just in terms of just the culture and the vibe that this program is put forth under Kenny Dillingham now heading into year two. So what other aspects of the culture of the program is kind of obviously just still early in his tenure, but what is your read on the culture that Kenny's trying to install here in Tempe?
I feel like the culture he's trying to install is just he's allowing players to be themselves. A lot of places where you go is like, you almost have to, be someone you're not, and it's not always good. So I feel like when I came down, it's like I feel like I was able to be me and be the person I want to be, regardless of who's around. So I feel like just with that, he's instilled just players to come in and just be themselves.
What kind of impact do you think that has on a player's mindset? In covering the program the last year, it seems like he really struck a good balance between players having fun, but also players working extremely hard as well, and kind of finding that middle ground that kind of is an optimal rate. From a player's perspective, what is it like just being in a program that wants to work extremely hard, but also have fun and let the players be themselves?
I feel like it's great, man. Because of course football is very important, but it's also life after football. So when you're able to be yourself and have fun while playing the game, because at the end of the game, football is a game, so you have to have fun while doing it. So when you're having fun and being yourself, it makes everything else a lot easier.
So obviously in your last situation, Washington State, how much did the conference uncertainty and just obviously with kind of the realignments and everything, how much of that was a factor to you in terms of maybe exploring your other options?
At first, it really wasn't a factor, but as the year kept going, also, I mean, of course, I started to think about it, and I always felt that I was a Power Five guy. So when they were saying we might not be Power Five anymore, might be playing these opponents, that opponent, I always thought that I wanted to be on the big stage. I wanted to be on under the big lights, on the TV screen. So I always felt that it was it was going to be a hard decision I have to make. So I decided to enter the portal and explore my options.
So obviously you had some experience playing against Arizona State. So even before kind of, you're thinking about just, maybe one day playing elsewhere, what was your view of, Sun Devil football, kind of from the opposing sideline?
Um, it was it was kind of fun because like I said, I know a lot of those coaches and a lot of those guys over there. So it was like rekindling the old flame, man. Seeing them again and seeing previous teammates, previous coaches that I've been like this with for a long time, and just seeing them and after the game, having the chance to talk to them and things. It was actually great experience.
Did you get any feedback, maybe from like Trey Brown and just about he was kind
Yeah,
of made
yeah.
that same transition about just what are some of the things that he's told you about what life as a Sun Devil is like?
He just told me that is way different than Pullman. First of all, he told me that. Second, he just told me, how great of a staff it is, and how how free he was able to play, and how great the culture is, and that was like the biggest things with me. Coming here, just experiencing that culture, experiencing the freedom, and just being able to just play free.
What was that like for you? Just as you mentioned, an Orlando guy coming from a big city to Eastern Washington, in Pullman out there in the Palouse. What was life like there, making that adjustment from Florida to the Palouse?
It was challenging at first. I'm not gonna lie, it was challenging. Not just because of just the culture difference, but first the weather. The weather was challenging. I did never get that cold, and where I'm from, and coming here, and it's October, and it's 30 degrees outside. That's crazy. And so I had to for sure get used to it. But like I said, when I first got here, it wasn't about just how far away it was. It was just the relationships that I built with the coaching staff. To make me feel comfortable enough to come this far away from home. So it really wasn't even about the weather, the culture, the different changes for me. It was just really the coaching staff that led me that far.
So you mentioned that this will be a kind of rekindling something that with your old coach and some familiar faces and the old coaches. As someone who's played in that Brian Ward defense, what is some of the things that really kind of stand out about his scheme, what he likes to do schematically, and maybe especially what he likes to do with his DBs?
What stands out is it's a very diverse scheme. Um, like it gives you a lot of freedom to it brings like with this scheme you can you can bring out your personality with this scheme. You can play press coverage, play off coverage, you can press bail, creep. You can do a lot of things with this scheme that that in a lot of other schemes it's kind of like you know kind of basic. This scheme is like an NFL type of scheme. So with the with this scheme, I feel like you can for sure get your name known in this scheme.
And looking forward to when you arrive here in Tempe. Position coach and Brian Carrington. Obviously a guy who's a young up and coming coach. What kind of stands out about him and what he likes to do with corners?
What stands out about Coach Carrington is just how he operates and how he treats his players. He gives his players the freedom to do a lot of things and bring out their personality. That's the biggest thing. Being able to play free and being able to you know, do things that you weren't able to do at your previous school. That's the biggest key with in my opinion with me just being able to be you on the field and being able to a coach that trusts his players to go out there and make the plays with their abilities. That's all you can ask for really.
So for any Sun Devil fans, might not have seen you in action, even though you did, of course, play against them, got to start against them, I believe, this past season. Give our listeners and viewers a self-scouting report. What can they expect to see from you in terms of your skill set on the field?
You're gonna see someone that's very passionate. I'll say that, very passionate, full of energy, hardworking person, and just get ready for a show. That's all I can say for now. Get ready for a show because it's definitely gonna be a show.
And of course, ASU is losing its starting corners from a season ago, so a lot of opportunity here. What kind of role are you expecting to have here with this defense in 2024?
Um, just being a leader, being a vocal leader. With me, being in this defense for 2 years and me knowing the ins and outs and me knowing everything that it is to the defense. Just being a leader, just filling that void of leadership that I feel like as of right now the defense needs. Just bringing a lot of the younger guys, up and getting them the things that they need within the defense. So just being a leader in all aspects.
And of course, guys like Ro Torrance, D Ford moving on to play on Sundays. So, but there's still a lot of young up and comers in that defensive back room, especially at the corner position. What's your read on kind of what ASU has right now? Of course, adding yourself into that mix at corner.
They have a lot of guys that can play for sure. A lot of all those guys are good. All those guys are great guys. Just like I said, with me coming in, just being that leader and me kind of teaching them the whole defense in and out because like I said I've been in this scheme for the last 2 years, so I know really everything that comes with this defense and just helping them and teaching them things that they don't necessarily know now and just making the room grow as one.
So when you look ahead to next fall, when you're in that maroon and gold, what kind of goals have you set for yourself for this 2024 season?
I set a lot of big goals. I'm very big on goal setting. So I want to just, first win, all Big 12, of course, and also want to, be All-American also. I want to, got some big goals, but it's going to take some hard work to get there. So I'm ready for it.